Whoa, watch out guys, this guy is edgy.
There's a trend that's been around for a long time now that I never really understood when it comes to discussing anime as well as other mediums of entertainment, and that's saying a series is bad because it's edgy or it contains edgy contents. Sure, you can chalk this up to the internet being the internet, but let's go beyond that. People have used the word campy to describe a show, sometimes with an accompaniment of enjoyment, but it's never used nearly as much in a derogatory state as edgy. Based on the two main definitions, edgy can be described as having or showcasing a bold or provocative quality, such as using blood, profanity, and unconventional elements, while in the internet's case, edgy is trying to be cool and dark in some way, usually appealing to the teenage crowd. Now, what in those actual definitions makes the word edgy a detrimental trait in a series? I don't think there is one. If we are to believe that edgy things are inherently bad, then actors like Samuel L. Jackson, films like Deadpool, video games like Persona 3, and music artists like Kanye West would be a detriment to the mediums they inhabit, because of the material they cover or words they use, but this is wholeheartedly false. From those sentences, instead of focusing on words like provocative, cool, and dark, I think the word that people should pay attention to is trying. The technical elements are not what makes the show good or bad, it's the attempt or execution that will warrant a success or failure. While I can bring up examples of series like Akame ga Kill or Sword Art Online, I'm sure people are sick of hearing about them, so let's start with a series that I believe is a positive example of using edgy contents, with that being Shiki. During a lot of moments, Shiki contains both heavy blood and gore as well as many provocative elements. However, does that hurt Shiki in any way? Not really, at least for those reasons. If you watch the moments where Shiki uses very graphic material to prove its points, in which I'm mostly highlighting the specials of the series, you would be able to tell that the scenes in question are still giving focus to the series' overall themes, as well as providing a juxtaposition to both sides of the story when it pertains to some of the musical choices they provided. Its tone and atmosphere never changed from the many episodes it had before it. On the other side, a negative example of using edgy content would be Another, but more specifically, its finale. For all the episodes before it, the main cast always had a mindset that swayed towards rationalism, always trying to find some underlying cause that wasn't paranormal. But in the finale, everyone loses their minds and become madmen who suddenly know how to kill at a moment's notice. The continuity of the characters' personalities was suddenly tilted in the opposite direction, which now begs the question. In regards to execution, are people using the term edgy to describe poor tonal shifting or improper technical continuity? I want to compare two other series now, Black Bullet and the 1997 adaptation of Berserk. Why exactly is Black Bullet bad because of its edgy nature, while Berserk's edgy nature is praised for seeing our suffering main character go through this harsh fantasy narrative? I believe a lot of it boils down to poor tonal shifting. When you watch Berserk, you can see that the show always has this dark and depressing tone to it as it takes a downward spiral towards its conclusion. We then know that the tone never changes to something jarring, while in Black Bullet's case, it is the exact opposite. Black Bullet also has that dark and depressing nature during the show, but Black Bullet hurts itself by throwing in a comedic scene at the worst times imaginable, as well as involving elements on both ends of the spectrum, with the example of having a lolly harem in a post-apocalyptic fight for humanity narrative. Did the edgy nature cause Black Bullet to suffer? No, that problem lies on the narrative focus and overall tone of the series, which once again comes back to execution. Another example could be comparing the edgy nature of both Future Diary and Technolize. Technolize, for almost its entirety, takes place in a dead-end world where the characters match the style they were going for, never changing from their nihilistic mindsets. It has nothing to do with its edgy qualities. In fact, I think the edgy nature made the world of Luke's a lot better by giving it a more depressing atmosphere. Future Diary had such a great premise going for it, and the cast, from a contextual standpoint, work well with the show due to the already unrealistic premise. The death game in Compass seemed like a possibility in the world they set up. However, the execution is where the show fails, thanks to the overall tone, a non-transformative cast that flip their emotions like light switches, and most importantly, sheer plot conveniences that kill any tension or technical continuity. Neither of these series were hurt due to their edgy traits. It comes back to the execution of making them work. You can even describe some aspects of Kill la Kill as edgy. I mean, 2 of the 3 words in its title are kill. Puns aside, there are edgy elements that Kill la Kill contains, mostly surrounding Ryuko Matoi's character. Ryuko lost her family and is out for revenge. Her character design reflects that of a punk/rebel trying to stand out. She carries a giant scissor blade, and so on. However, none of those aspects about her character made the show bad. It's the exact opposite, in fact. Her design and just everything about her helped play to the absurdity of the story. Finally, there is my favorite scene in all of anime, at least as of right now. Spoilers for people who haven't seen End of Evangelion, by the way. And that's Asuka's fight with the mass-produced Evas in the End of Evangelion. That whole scene is brutal and dark in multiple ways. Blood and body parts are flying everywhere, Asuka is having mental breakdowns, Shinji is running away from his problems. I mean, even after Asuka gets stabbed with the Lance of Longinus and Eva Unit 2 gets its guts pulled apart, she reaches out and starts saying, "I'll kill you," multiple times in the most menacing tone, to then having Shinji produce the most brutal death scream of all time. That scene is phenomenal. Why? Because it works with everything that has come before it. We know that the cast of this series has psychological issues. I mean, that's one of the main points I took away from the show. When these dark elements are put into this specific scenario, it makes narrative sense to everything before it, and the tone of the series hadn't changed from the earlier episodes to now. Just because something has an edgy nature or vibe going for it doesn't warrant it to be bad. I'm not saying all series that contain edgy material are good and should automatically be forgiven for that either, but when you say the show is bad because of the edge, do you really mean something else? I've wanted to make a video like this for a while now, considering I believe series like Black Bullet and Akame ga Kill are being hated on unfairly for the wrong reasons. Also, I think the term has gotten too obscure, just like weeaboo and other buzzwords, so I think this video clears some of those things up as well. Now, what are your thoughts on this topic? Comment below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe for more anime related content, and follow me on Twitter as well as Kitsu if you're interested. I'm Kent from Spartan Media Reviews, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching.